Are you ready to level up? This video series is designed to inspire and empower those with a dream to step into the next level on their journey of becoming the confident, passionate soul that is within. Get ready to be inspired. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Level Up series, week number 2. We are going over leveling up physically today, and I am so excited. We are going to cover what it means to level up physically, how it impacts you, your family, your business, and how we can make it more of a priority. And with me today, I have a super special guest, my friend, the fabulous, strong, confident rock star, Alexa Massie is on today. And you guys, she is incredible when it comes to leveling up physically, and I'm so excited for you guys to hear from her. So first, Alexa, tell us a little bit about you, your journey, what you do, where you're from, all the things.
All the things. Well, first off, thank you so much for having me on. I'm so excited. So my name is Alexa Massie. I live in Naples, Florida. I'm a mom of 2. My daughter's 4. My son is 2. I'm a full-time personal trainer by day. I'm also a lead instructor at a spin studio called Cyclebar here in town. And as well as all of those things and keeping my kids alive, I also started my own coaching business, Alexa Massie Coaching, just kind of encompassing all things health, fitness, nutrition, and most importantly, inspiring confidence in moms and women all over.
I love that. I was just telling you when we hopped on this recording, I was so jealous of your sunshine.
Yeah.
But I love your mission. And that's why, you guys, I reached out to Alexa right away when I was creating this Level Up series, because her mission so aligns with what we're talking about and really what it means to level up physically, and really about how it instills confidence in you as a person when you do take it up that next level. And so I would love for you to share, when you think about, leveling up physically, it can mean many things, health, fitness, wearing your favorite pair of jeans or bright, bold lipstick. It can mean so many different things, but what does leveling up physically mean to you?
So first of all, I think leveling up physically is really just kind of getting to know yourself first. Like, we all have so many different roles and different things that we're responsible for, work and kids and husbands and families and friends. And we oftentimes totally disconnect from who we are and what we want and what is good for us. So I think leveling up physically is just kind of like that first step towards making yourself a priority again. And whether that's eating better or eating one meal better a day, or exercising for 20 minutes a day, just 1% better every single day. And over time, the changes and the experiences that you will have made are just transformational. And I think that's kind of where it starts.
I love that. I love that you said making yourself a priority, because I think a lot of the times as entrepreneurs, as women, as moms, we don't do that. And it gets put on the back burner. And oftentimes it almost becomes a chore to pursue your health and put that as a priority. But I loved how you said, shifting your mindset to if it's just one great meal a day, or maybe you moved your body for 10 minutes, just something to fuel your body, making it a priority, and also turning the mindset to it's a good thing. You're fueling yourself. It's not, oh, I have to work out today. It's wow, I get to do this today.
Right. I get to do this. I have the opportunity. My body is capable. And now am I willing? And I think too, as women and moms and business owners, especially, we think that taking care of ourselves or putting ourselves first is selfish, and really it's actually not at all. We take care of others better when we are well taken care of. And it's so important. And we take these big goals and we chunk them into, we have to do this whole thing. We have to change our whole diet. We have to eat every single meal clean. We have to lose 10 pounds. We have to go to the gym every day. And really that's what makes people stop.
Yeah.
That's what makes it seem unattainable. So if you focus on one thing that you can do to better yourself every day over weeks and months and years, that's where it all adds up.
Yes, the focus on the one thing. Yes, we need to talk more about that for sure. So when you think about your journey with putting physical health as your priority, and obviously being a coach now, it is a main priority, but what did that look like for you before? Has it always been something that came easy?
No. So I feel pretty lucky that, over my life, I grew up as an athlete and always playing sports, swim team, soccer team. I was always active physically. And I think that I was very lucky to have that as my focus, especially through like those really hard high school years, because I was more focused on, you know, how my body could perform, how I could, you know, play better in the big game, or how I could have better practices. So to me, like physical strength was always more important than just like being thin. And I'm very grateful to have that as my like foundation. So I grew up an athlete. I played Division I college volleyball.
Wow.
So again, you know, very, very focused on how my body can perform, what it can do for me rather than what it can't do. But then, you know, when we talked about this the other day, when all of a sudden your career as a collegiate athlete ends and you don't have telling you, you know, here's what you're doing in the gym. It's all written out for you. Here, go do it. And all of a sudden that's gone. Yeah. It was a huge, huge like identity crisis for me. You know, I'm no longer a college athlete. I'm no longer being told to go do this. I know it's good for me, but I don't have to do it. So it was like this big journey into like figuring out, you know, how to take what was like 6 hours of exercise and activity a day and like combine it into one. I had to change the way I ate. I had to change the way I thought. Like it was just a huge shift in everything for me.
Wow. Yeah, it's a huge change, especially, you know, before you're an athlete, right? So like you have a requirement, you have to work out, you have to do these things, but then after it's like, well, now what? And I think that's where most people find themselves is in that, where do I start? Like, how do I move forward with this in more of like a normal, everyday type of style? So in that period, you know, did you kind of just like slack off for a little bit, and then you like kind of had like a decision day where you're like, okay, we got to like take action, something's got to change? Like, what did that like middle part look like for you?
A lot of it is fear. And this is kind of what I've realized, like within my coaching business too, is so many of us operate on fear, and that's what holds us back, you know? So I was afraid of making those decisions on my own, or like, you know, I grew up in a gym, but all of a sudden I had to do it myself. And that was fearful for me. I went from being able to eat whatever I could to all of a sudden, like that didn't look the same. It didn't feel the same. So like I all of a sudden was like faced with all of these decisions I had to make on my own. And I had never experienced that before. And so that's what I'm realizing, like, that's not attainable. You know, that life as an athlete isn't something you can do for your whole life. So like when people think that they have to live this life of like going to the gym every day, or like doing these like 30 life. And so when all of a sudden the diet ends or your workout program ends and you're faced with the fear of having to do it on your own, like that's kind of where I now get to relate to people, because I've been through that too.
Wow, I never even thought about that. You just gave me like a really aha moment, because I remember going to like a gym and I was in a program and like going and going and going. And as soon as that was done, I was like, now what? And I didn't have that next step. I didn't have the confidence to really pursue it for myself outside of that one setting where I had the trainer, where I had, you know, the exact outline of what I should be doing for my workouts or what I should be eating. Like I didn't have that. And it totally, you're so right. And that stops people all the time. Wow. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah. Because it's like, you know, if you're told to eat this, this, and this every day, but then on day 30, when it's over, that coach is like, bye, good luck. You're on your own now. But they didn't actually give you the tools to know what to do on your own, to have the confidence to make your own decisions and the strength to go to the gym and feel confident picking up a dumbbell. Like that's not what I want to do. Like I don't want to hold your hand, but I also want to instill the confidence in you that like you can do this, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. You're creating those habits. You're creating something that's sustainable so that you can continue to move forward with that. Yeah. Wow. So as you moved from kind of like that in between to starting to like start up, leveling up physically again, what were those things that you put in place that were more of a priority?
I would say like my mental strength and mental health became more of a priority rather than like my body physically. Since I wasn't like playing in collegiate games anymore, I kind of had to shift between like, well, now that I'm not competing in something, like now what is something that I can do that's still like a routine and still a habit, but like I still wanted to measure it some way, but I didn't want to use a scale, if that makes sense. So it was more about like creating and designing workouts and like was I like defeated? Was I like elated? Was I stressed out with that workout? Because that happens too. So it was more of like kind of measuring success, I guess, or measuring, my workouts or my eating plan based on how I was feeling internally and especially mentally.
I don't think we take enough time to check in, especially with physical health. It's just like checking the box. Like I did the workout, check the box. But really, like after you're done, how do you feel? Do you feel more energy? Do you feel excited? Do you feel strong? Or do you feel stressed out and like completely defeated? Because I felt a little bit of both depending on the workout. And it really affects your motivation. Like if you're feeling super, super defeated, then maybe that's not the workout or the plan for you. Maybe it's time to change something up.
100%.
Mm-hmm. I love that. So, now it's become more of a priority, right? Obviously being, a health and fitness coach, instilling this in other people, working at Cyclebar, like you're doing all the things of what it looks like to level up physically. So now with that being a priority, how has that impacted you personally? How has that impacted your family, your kids, and just like life in general?
How is it not? I feel like, I went through like another thing, like being pregnant and having my children, where that's kind of another shift to now, like how it's impacting my family and my life. And I shared this the other day because, physical strength, mental strength, we covered those, but like inspiring others and having my children see that I'm still showing up for myself every day, and that like now they understand like, okay, mommy needs this time to exercise. They may not fully understand it, but the other day, this was like the coolest thing. My daughter came out when I was exercising on the patio and she started like imitating me. And she goes, wow, mommy, this is really hard. Like you're really strong. And I was like in tears because that's what I want. I want my children to see what physical health can do for your body and what being strong can do and can look like. So that's how I just think if we continue to show up, even when it's hard, the day before that, they were driving me crazy trying to get my workout done, but I keep doing it and I keep showing up because literally that exact reason.
Yeah. You have to show up for you to fill your cup, and I'm sure it gives you more energy. It allows you to show up because you took that time to fill your cup, right?
Mm-hmm. I can better take care of my children. I can better take care of my family. When I move, my body, it moves my mind. Like that's where all of my big ideas come from. Like I'll be exercising thinking about how hard it is or how I feel like I have to push through it. And then I connect it to something different and then my mind starts going. So it's like I move my body, but I'm moving my mind at the same time. And it's like the best connection.
A lot of the time too, like when it comes to a workout or something, it's hard. Like it's not meant to be easy. It's going to challenge you. It's going to make you stronger. But I always love that moment when a workout is done and you not only feel so satisfied that you did that, but you're like, yes, look at what I accomplished. Yes. Like, look at what I completed. And then it makes you more confident. It levels up your confidence so that, you can show up better for your family, show up better for your career, show up better for your business because you're like, wow, I just conquered that. I can do anything.
Yes, you conquered it. And for me, like if I'm having a day or a morning where I'm like off, right, my mindset is not up to par to where it normally is, or I'm like arguing with my kids, I'll change my workout to being something that's like requires more strength. So instead of like doing, I don't know, like plyometric or jumping stuff, like I'll pick up heavier dumbbells because if I can show myself that I can lift something heavy, I can do something strong, my mind feels strong.
Yeah. 100%.
So then the rest of my day, I'm like, I did that, so I can do this too.
Yeah, it's crazy. I don't think we connected enough. Like your mental health and your physical health, they go hand in hand. So I feel like when you're pushing through something for physical health, you need that strong mental health to push you through. You need the mindset of like, I can do this, I can keep going, I can finish, rather than, oh, this is too hard, I'm not going to make it. There's you need that. But on the other side, you also need your physical health to keep your mental health strong, to show you what you're capable of, to get your energy up. Like they go hand in hand. Right? Oh, I love it. Love it.
Totally.
So when you think about, keeping it as a priority now, what does that look like day to day? What do you do to keep your fitness and your health as a priority?
Well, right now, obviously, it's much different than it was a month ago. So we'll talk like normal times and times, right? So normal times, I find it's really hard because I have a full full-time job and I teach 5 spin classes a week. My kids are in school. Like, I'm still married. I have all the other, responsibilities. So I have to schedule it in and honor that. If I'm making time to train others or to, train my clients or to pour into my riders in a spin class and, still devote energy to my children, I need to devote that energy to me. So the night before, I'll write out my day. I'll find some pocket of time. Sometimes it's 20 minutes. Sometimes I get an hour, it doesn't matter. But then when that time comes the next day, I don't blow it off. I honor the commitment that I've made to myself, because honoring that commitment is honoring all of my other commitments too.
Oh, yes. My God. Yes. I heard that too. Like, if you write it in your planner, it's going to happen. If you write it down, it's going to happen. And if you're not honoring your own commitment, how can other people respect your time if you're not respecting your own? So I think that's so true. So, so true.
Yep.
And
how
again,
will people trust what you say,
yes.
what you say to yourself? You don't.
Yeah. And it's just, again, it's showing up. You're showing up for you so you can show up even better for others. You can't pour from an empty cup. I know people hear that all the time, but it's so, so true. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I just love this. Makes me want to go work out after this.
I know, right?
So when you think about what holds people back, I know we talked about fear, and when they push past that, do I feel like we kind of go in these waves with our physical health and especially our fitness. So when somebody gets over the fear and they start, but then they feel that setback, what do you think is often the thing that holds people back from continuing forward to keeping their health and fitness as a priority?
Well, first off, I actually don't think that people ever get over their fear. I think they just find different ways to work with their fear. At least that's been my experience. And I know for me, the more I try to separate myself from what I'm afraid of, the stronger the attachment to me. So if you just kind of acknowledge it, realize where it's coming from, what it actually is and means, and then you can try and flip the script in your head.
Yeah.
Learn to work with it instead of against it.
Yeah.
But I think as far as setbacks, people are either, not realistic when it comes to what their goals are, or I think the biggest one is they're not fully attached to why they're even doing it. And that, I think, is going to be the biggest deciding factor. And if you continue or if you just stop, and it doesn't matter what it is, right? We talked about this. If your goal is to look better in a bikini for summer, amen, sister, go for it, but if your goal is to run a half marathon, or if your goal, it doesn't matter what it is, but if you don't actually want to run a half marathon, you're not going to get off the couch and go running.
Yeah.
Right. So I think you need to take some time before you decide to do a diet or to, join some workout program. Make sure you feel 100% aligned with it, because if you're not going to continue. And then that not continuing is going to make you feel defeated, and then you're going to feel defeated and you're not going to do it again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I want people to be 100% lit up, so excited about why they're doing it, that when they hit that wall and they remind themselves why they're in it, they'll be like, oh yeah. And they knock it down and then they'll keep going.
Yeah, I think a lot of the time people compare what other people are doing, and it makes them feel like, oh, well, I should do this too, right? Like Susie Q's running a half marathon, she looks great, so maybe I should run a half marathon. Yep. But if you don't have a good reason to back it up, you're so right. You're not going to be motivated to train for it.
And I did it. I did the exact thing I'm talking about. When I quit, or when volleyball was over and I had nothing to compete in, I was like, oh, I'm going to compete in a half marathon. Well, I hate running. Literally, I don't enjoy it. It hurts my knees. And I did all this work, and then all of a sudden I'm like, no, I'm not going to do it. But then I felt bad because I didn't stick to my commitment. It's a full cycle.
Yeah. You go from fear to guilt to not doing anything.
Yes, not doing anything. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And then what's the point? You have to find something you love. Oh yeah. So, so true. So now, with what you're doing, tell us a little bit about your day-to-day as a coach, as a personal trainer. What does that look like? What do you share with a client who's just starting their journey? How do you help them to find those first few steps?
Yeah, I was actually just going to say, it's just the first few steps. The first few steps, even if they're baby steps, are still steps forward. So don't judge those steps if they're not big enough or that they didn't accomplish enough. be proud of yourself and the confidence that it took you to take those first steps, because they're the scariest ones. And then just kind of create momentum, and be proud of yourself every step of the way. Don't feel like anything was a mistake, because it's only a mistake if you're stopping, but just learn from everything.
Yeah. What inspired your mission? Like, why do you do what you do now?
I think it all started really when after I had my first child, I saw that there was this gap, especially between, it was like moms and working moms, because I feel like we're all working, whether you're staying at home or you're, working in an office, and finding the time. Like, I never had that problem before, finding time. And now all of a sudden I had this life I was responsible for, but also, went through the guilt of feeling like I wanted to also have the time to give to myself. And I was like, wow, like if I feel this way and I'm really confident, like working out and eating right, then I just felt like there was probably this whole community of women and moms and working moms who felt the same way. And I just wanted to provide the tools and like be the bridge to get people from where they want, like starting out, to where they wanted to go.
I love that. I love that. So tell us a little bit about your mission, like your mission statement, because a lot of that are centered around confidence, which this whole series is about leveling up to that next best version of yourself. So tell us a little bit about your mission now.
So my entire mission now is just to instill like the highest level of confidence in yourself in every aspect, emotionally, physically, mentally, spiritually, because like we've talked about, they're all interchangeable, they're all intertwined. And I want to give the tools for someone to live their best life. Like everyone has like their dream life, their dream day, and I want to give you the tools to make that attainable.
Yes. And knowing that it looks different for everyone, like it's like we said, it's not a one size fits all. We have to find what works for every single person, and it's a journey. And I love what you said about like celebrating the progress, being patient with yourself,
like enjoy the journey.
Yes, you have to enjoy it. It's not just, especially with physical fitness, it's not like, okay, I'm in my bikini bod, I've arrived, like here we are.
Yep. Like, and I said this the other day, actually, when I was teaching my spin class, like stop looking for a finish line. Stop looking for the end, because once you get there, you're going to want something else, or you're going to want something else. So if you just think of it as a checkpoint instead of an end line, like that'll just change everything, I think, for you mentally.
100%. Yeah. Even a workout everything. There's no end point. Your health is a journey. Your health is your life. Like it's your physical fitness, your health, it's a part of your life. And that's not going to end. Like that's a huge part of you all the way through. Yeah. And you have to celebrate those moments, even those small wins, like every single thing, even if maybe you didn't hit a certain, goal physically, or maybe you ate a little bit bad and you don't want to feel guilty about it. Like whatever it is, you have to celebrate the fact that you're still showing up every single day, pouring into you and doing what you got to do to continue to level up physically. I love that.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yes.
So when you think, or when you go day to day now, well, I guess, like you said, it looks a little bit different, but what are like the main things, like if you could pick a top 3, like most important for your health and fitness to make a priority, what would those be?
I would say wake up earlier is like my number one thing. Prioritize at least 20 minutes a day to just move your body and move your mind. And maybe it's one or the other. Maybe it's just moving your mind and you read, a motivational book for 20 minutes. Pick one. But move your body or your mind for 20 minutes a day. And then I would say top 3 would be 1% better every day. Focus on one meal that you can control, that you can keep really clean or healthy, or whatever fills your cup, or whatever you're focused on right then. But wake up early, move your body, move your mind, 1% better every day.
I love it. And that leads me to our final question. If you could give our viewers a challenge, one thing to start today to help them in their leveling up physically, what would that be?
Decide why you want what you want. Connect to your why. Make that your solid foundation. Really connect to it. Write it out. Close your eyes and picture your life 6 months from now, what it looks like, who's around you, what it feels like. Connect to every single part of it and decide why you want to start today.
Yes, 100%. Amen to that. And I think too, going off of that, what will that do? Like, I love how you said, like, look in the future. How is this impacting your life?
Yeah.
What does a more physically confident you look like? How is that impacting
Yeah.
your business, your family, your kids? Like, it impacts everything. And so really digging into that, because I think that will fuel that why even more of that starting point. Yeah.
Yes.
Great. Oh my gosh, my friend. I'm like bouncing up. I'm like ready to go work out, lift some weights, go for a run, do something. Like, thank you so much for being on today. Thank you so much for pouring into our viewers. Like, you truly just have a heart of gold, and I have loved getting to know you. And I'm very excited for our viewers to not only hear from you today, but for them to check you out on social media. So where can we find you?
So my Instagram handle is at alexa.massie, MASSIE, and then my website is just alexamassie.com.
Awesome. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much again for your time. It's been such an honor.
Thank you so much.